Welcome to the Community Difference Frisco. Powered by the Difference Media LLC. Hosted by Brian Poduska. And sponsored by Real Property Management Focus. Certainty Home Lending. Patterson Insurance. The Frisco Fighters Arena Football Team. Total Care. Stewart Title. PBJ Mortgage. And by Simply Smart Realty. The Community Difference Frisco
was created to serve as a platform for local leaders and business professionals to showcase their expertise, values, and commitment to their community. Overall, the podcast aims to create a stronger sense of community in North Texas by highlighting the often overlooked or unnoticed good work being done by local leaders, businesses, and professionals.
So sit back and relax as our host, co-host, and their guests share inspirational stories, experiences, thoughts, and insights about being a professional, along with the opportunities for our businesses to serve our communities in very special ways. Because the Community Difference Frisco starts now.
All right, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the North Texas Community Difference Frisco show. You are watching episode 1B, I guess. This is the first episode where we have our guests on. A couple weeks ago, we had our co-hosts on to talk about, that was the official launch of the show. This is the what I'll call the official launch of the show, where we have our guests on as well. So I'm excited to kick this thing off. My guests, or my co-hosts, I should say, for week one, episode 1B, we've got Paul Fisher and Steve Wood as my co-hosts, along with me, Brian Poduska. Lennon, let's bring on our co-host right off the bat here. What's up, gentlemen? How we doing?
Well,
what's going on, Brian?
You know what? I'm excited. I'm fired up to get this show started. It's been a long time coming. We've had various different versions of this show, more as a one-off. But now we have a full slate of co-hosts, of which you two are part of. And then we're going to have a ton of great guests on as we roll this thing out. And today is no exception. We have Donnie Churchman, we have Jason Young, and we have Swad Bedovich as our guests. So real quick, we're going to bring them on here shortly, but real quick, why don't you guys introduce yourselves and tell us what you do in the city of Frisco. Paul, you go first.
I'll jump in. So my name is Paul Fisher. I'm a direct mortgage lender for Certainty Home Lending. So we specialize in residential mortgages, second homes, vacation homes, investment properties, specifically for Frisco. And I'm an ambassador for the Frisco Chamber. And it's been a real good experience for me to, kind of support and give back to the community. And Brian, I kind of share your enthusiasm for our relaunch. We had some shows at the beginning of the year, took a break. But with the relaunch, we're going to be able to, have a chance to spotlight, some business leaders and nonprofits and give them a chance to kind of, showcase their talents and passions and impact to the Frisco community. So we teased it at the Frisco Chamber Works this morning, and I think we have a year full of guests just out of that room alone. So I'm excited to get everybody to be a part.
Awesome. Well, I agree. We had some great response to teasing that out this morning at the breakfast at the Frisco Chamber. A lot of great people that came up to me afterwards and expressed interest in participating in various different levels. And I'll throw that out to the greater Frisco as well. If there's an initiative that you have that you want spotlighted on the show, please bring it to our attention so we can, get that spotlight put on that event and or business. Again, going back to the premise of the show, Paul touched on it: business owners, entrepreneurs, nonprofits, certainly Frisco ISD leaderships, anybody who's in Frisco ISD leadership. And then we've got a new component too with the sporting community. So we've got the Frisco Fighters as one of our sponsors. So anybody in the sporting community want to get the Frisco High School sports spotlighted as well. There's a lot of great stuff going on there. So that'll be another pillar of this show. Steve, why don't you go ahead and tell everybody what you do and, your love of Frisco.
My love of Frisco. I moved down here about a decade ago from the Washington, D.C. area. fled there, is a way of saying it, to greener pastures. And when I moved down here, they were green pastures. They kind of filled in nicely over the last decade. I am a financial planner, and more importantly, more of a tax planner, in the sense that I try to create tax-free outcomes for all my clients later in life. And I work with a lot of companies here in Frisco, but I actually have clients all over the country. I just have chosen this spot to reside in for all that Frisco offers, from the sports, the community-minded people, the great schools. I've got twin 8-year-olds, or soon to be 8-year-olds, in second grade. So that was really important. And it's still, I think, one of the calling cards of the city is the great schools and the community feel of the area. My street, I mean, I have very few people from Texas here. A house, not much to sell them. Someone just sold, and someone from Wisconsin just moved in. You know what I mean? People are coming here for a reason.
Y'all can all go cowboy boot shopping together.
That, or I haven't met him yet. He moved in yesterday. I'm going to ask him whether it was a catch, and if he says it was, then I'm going to be his friend. If he's not, no, I'm kidding.
Yeah, no. So great point on your street being, a small percentage of actual Texans living on it. Because I had the same experience when I moved here roughly a decade ago, a little bit longer than that. And I know one of our guests, Donnie, moved into the area about the same time I did. Also not from the area. He's one of those dreaded Californians, but he's let him make a mess.
He's Texified now, though.
Yeah, definitely. So without further ado, let's go ahead and bring on all our guests for today, Lyndon, if you don't mind. What's up, gentlemen?
How are you?
Hey there.
I am super. Hey, great to have you guys on today. Jason, I'm glad we got the technology figured out. So you've got some awesome blue light going on in the background. I like it.
Is it blue? I'm here at the theater. I'm at Knock Theater on the stage.
I thought I was at the club.
Yeah.
Hey, you're representing at NAC Theater, not that club. Come on.
Where's the house music?
This is a family show. Come on. No, hey guys, thanks for joining us today. Excited to have you guys on. I'm just going to go down the line. I'll start with you, Donnie, and we'll go to the left on my screen. Just give a brief introduction of yourself, a little bit of background on I know you got a lot going on, so just a little bit of background on that, and we'll go a little bit deeper later in the show.
Sure, Brian. Thanks for having me on the show today, and thank you for calling me dreaded. I appreciate that.
It's from a place of love, my friend.
Place of love. Well, luckily, I'm going on my 13th, almost 14th year here in Texas. So, as the saying goes, couldn't get here fast enough. So I am the founder, owner, CEO of NAC Development. We have been working on the redevelopment, revitalization of downtown Frisco now for about 7 years, and the work continues. And we are branching out throughout the communities in Texas and helping them revitalize and redevelop or enhance their downtowns. So we got a lot of work going on in downtowns, still with some active projects in Frisco. We have the patios at the rail. We have the tower at the rail. We have the NAC Theater, where we're hosting live events regularly now. As you'll hear from Jason, he runs that for us. So we are still very much concentrated in downtown Frisco and other cities alike.
Awesome. Thanks, Donnie. Appreciate that. Jason, why don't you go next?
Good afternoon, guys. Hey, Steve and Paul. So yeah, my name is Jason Young, and I actually am also from the dreaded California, as you called it. I moved to Frisco, Texas in 2004. Wow. So I think maybe I beat you, didn't I, Brian? I don't know.
Oh, you beat me by several years. So exactly. You're truly a Texan now.
Feel the dread. But my wife's from Fort Worth, and my daughter was born in McKinney. So here we go. We got some roots. I have an event venue business that I started in 2016 with a ground up construction, built a venue at Stonebrook in the Tollway called Verona Villa. We also operate Donnie's project at the patios. There's a venue called Eventi. We help manage and run the NAC Theater in partnership with Donnie. I also own a Allstate insurance agency, which is where I just was coming from. regional all-state meeting. Nothing as exciting as an all-state insurance meeting, regional meeting, and then just also just kind of collaborate and support some other projects here in North Texas as well.
Awesome. Yeah. I mean, if we want to put our audience to sleep, we can do a deep dive on insurance.
Yeah.
We've had several insurance agents on in the past, and
Don't do it.
Yeah. So
just instead, just call us. Let us take care of your home and auto, and we'll all good.
We'll put together a sleep aid show, later on in our broadcast career. But no, thanks for sharing, Jason. All kidding aside, you're super involved in the community, which is why we wanted to have you on the show today.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I should say I serve on the Visit Frisco board since 2011, and have been involved in numerous nonprofit efforts and different city initiatives and stuff like that through our venue. Mostly over the years, we've raised millions of dollars or helped support raising millions of dollars with all kinds of awesome causes, and so it's been a lot of fun. And actually, I'm a collector of my man Swad as artwork. Who's going next?
That's right.
Well, what a segue that is, because Swad, you're up next as the best dressed photographer and other things in the city of Frisco. Tell us about yourself, Swad.
If you don't mind me correcting you, best dressed photographer in the world. It says so right in my face.
My bad.
In the world. I guess I joined into the wrong episode. I thought this was going to be about arts and art nonprofits and all that. But I'm happy to be here with my buddies Donnie and Jason. I worked with them on a couple of projects. They're awesome. I myself, yes, I am a photographer, but I volunteer around the city of Frisco in a variety of ways. One of which is being the president of Visual Arts Guild of Frisco. It's a nonprofit here in Frisco supporting visual artists and creating opportunities for them to display and reach out to display their art and reach out to a broader audience. So Jason has been a partner when he was with the Frisco Arts Leadership, Frisco Arts Foundation Leadership, and I always appreciate the opportunity to talk about our nonprofit and our artists. I myself, I have a photography business here in Frisco. So Brian, I saw at the open of the show that headshot that you had, that I have of you, needs to be updated. So please reach out to me after the show. I'll take care of it.
Ouch.
Thanks for reminding me that I've lost some hair since then. I've gone grayer. I appreciate that, Spot. You can touch all that up, though, right?
Okay. Yeah, I charge extra for that, but yes.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'll get a business loan, just for the touch up.
There you go.
I think by updated he meant improved.
Yeah. Thanks, Donnie. Good recovery. I appreciate that. All right. Well, hey guys, thanks for sharing a little bit of your background, who y'all are. What we're going to do right now is take a really quick commercial break. We're going to come back on the back end. We have a segment called What's Up Frisco. We're working on a sounder for that. So if you see some of our other shows, we'll have a cool sounder coming up for that in the future. But we do have quite a few events in the city of Frisco that we want to highlight that are coming up over the next month. So with that, Lennon, go ahead and cut to commercial, and we'll do What's Up Frisco on the back end.
The Community Difference Frisco is made possible by Brian Poduska, owner of Real Property Management Focus. Paul Fisher, loan officer with Certainty Home Lending. Steve Wood with Smart Safe Retirement. Kendra Kennedy with Stewart Title. Stephen Pine, partner with Patterson Insurance. Matt England, Director of Corporate Partnerships, and Andre Coles, head coach of the Frisco Fighters Arena football team. The Community Difference Frisco. Together, we can make the difference. And now, back to the show.
All right, welcome back. And after seeing those commercials, I'm not the only one who needs an update on my.
I wasn't going to say it, but now that
we're going to say, Linda needs to go. Needs a new, maybe a Christmas present this year.
I just figure since we're on that topic, I mean, I'm not alone. All right. that being said,
we
hey,
got-
I
we
just
got-
tell everybody it's a bad internet connection, and they're not showing up as nice as they really should be. So
right, exactly. It's
However, after that commercial, I see what Swad was talking about.
Yeah.
no question.
It's
Hey,
the shot
hey,
when
Donnie.
Ryan came to Texas.
Donnie, those pictures are more boring than insurance, aren't they?
No, I don't think so. I think insurance takes the cake on that one.
That's a pretty high bar right there. So we'll
I think
still
that's-
keep it insurance.
Can
The
I
best
just add,
headshot out of all of us is Jason's, most likely.
can I add one headshot fact? This is absolutely true, but SWAD started doing my headshots about 7 years ago, I guess, and
Something like that.
we have had a 7,000% increase in every business we've ever touched, every time, year over year, because of his headshots. So just call SWAD.
I don't guarantee that kind of return on investment, but it does happen.
So my selfies aren't working?
Well, user error. User error.
Yeah.
All right, so there you go. Any new headshot by SWAD is 100% attributable to any growth in your company. So check out SWAD for headshots.
There you go.
All right. Well, that being said, let's do our What's Up Frisco segment. Like I said, no sounder this time, but there's your tease for coming shows. We got awesome sounders for this segment. I will kick off the segment talking about what's coming up at the NAC Theater. So very obviously pertinent to our guests today, both Donnie and Jason. So this Saturday, there's a comedy show with Pat Hazel. Saturday, December 9th, 7:30 p.m. A little bit about Pat. Pat is one of the original writers for NBC's Seinfeld, a Tonight Show veteran. I think he's been on 7 times, and critically acclaimed playwright. Showtime declared Pat as one of the 5 funniest people in America. His 30 years of experience as a writer. Hazel's a one-man show, The Wonder Bread Years, apologies. A comic salute to the baby boomer generation, aired on PBS, where they refer to him as America's foremost pop culture anthropologist. So check out Pat this Saturday, December 9th, 7:30 p.m. Tickets can be purchased on nactheater.com. Also coming to the NAC Theater the following week on Friday, David Gashin Christmas concert. David once starred as the Phantom in Phantom of the Opera on Broadway. He's putting together a Christmas concert, again, Friday, December 15th, 8 p.m. at the NAC Theater. Again, same place to purchase tickets, nactheater.com. Paul, I'll kick it to you for your.
Gosh, man! Since we're going through NAC Theater, I've got a few. I've got one actually for Pastor Kerry Robertson over from Game Changer Church. They're doing a Christmas Eve service, so I guess the eve of Christmas Eve on Sunday, December 23rd, from 6 to 7 at the NAC Theater. So Kerry is a fellow Frisco ambassador for the chamber, and want to make sure he got a mention on that. So that's Christmas Eve service. You can go to GameChangerChurch.com to get all the info.
Awesome. Steve, you want to mention anything about What's Up Frisco?
I'm kind of a insular kind of guy. I've got 8-year-old twins, so it's either from the elementary school to here, and that's kind of like the sphere of influence. However, we are, as a family, going to go to the Legends game, basketball game on Sunday afternoon. So free tickets. Bring the family.
The Legends are the D League team or G League team for the Dallas Mavericks. It's a great family venue over at the Comerica Center. Been there several times. If you got young kids, they've got awesome stuff to do during intermissions, halftime, things like that. Players are super accessible. Heck, even the GM is super accessible. So they're all down there on the floor. Go out there if you want to have a good time with your family. It's an awesome event. Tickets are cheap and or free, depending on who you know. And we may have ticket opportunities on this show coming up as well. Just a little tease on that. So we're working on that relationship with that organization.
Hey, Brian, can I add a few what's ups?
Yeah, absolutely.
Our NAC Theater related. There's a theme there. On the 16th of December, so next Saturday night, we have the Texas Cellos Nordic Christmas, which will be a really cool event. That is also tickets you can find on knacktheater.com. We're also partnering with JHU Ventures and Data Insurance Services to produce Miss Frisco Scholarship Pageant, the first pageant that's been here in the area. It's open to women 17 to 25 years old, and you can go to the Facebook page for Miss Frisco Scholarship Pageant, and those entry submissions are due December 20th. We're going to have the preliminary rounds here at Knack Theater, and then the final, I think, is slated at Verona Villa. And then also we're doing season 3 of Frisco's Got Talent. So we've had some really cool community talent shows modeled after the TV show. And we've had a lot of fun with that for 2 seasons. And we are going to be doing season 3. And so it's open to all ages. You don't have to live in Frisco. It's just like American Idol. Not all the acts are from America, right? Or Frisco or America's Got Talent. They're not all from America. So you could be from anywhere. There's a $1,000 cash prize, all ages, all talents are welcome. And again, you can go to knacktheater.com or our Facebook page and learn how to participate in that.
Great.
Awesome. Good additions. Thanks, Jason. All right, Paul, you're up next.
Yeah, I've got 2 to add, then I'm going to throw it to Swad. But if I didn't mention these, then I may not be invited back to chamber. So Donna Schmittler with the Frisco Heritage Foundation, they're doing a recipe roundup. So this is from December the 1st through January 31st. So they do a big cookbook and all that type of deal. So she want to make sure I got that out there. And then, kind of speaking of Visual Arts Guild of Frisco, they do a Texas title over there with Butch Robinson and Susan Vega. They do a showing of all the artists, all their works, and they're doing a winter exhibit through the end of December. So I think they do showings from where you can the public can go in there from like 9 to 10 a.m. and then 4 to 5 p.m. and go and kind of vote and see which ones you like. But it's really, it's a really neat venue to go and see. What some of the local artists are doing. And then I know Swad's got a big thing for visual arts coming up this weekend.
I do. And I want to mention that show at the Texas Title Frisco is actually going to be through early February. So if you miss it this holiday season, you still have the whole month of January to go check it out. The unique thing that we do at Texas Title is that we have the Audience Award. So anyone who shows up to check out the show will be able to vote for one of their favorite pieces. We have 18 pieces in the show. At the end of the show, the piece with most votes gets a prize that's sponsored by a partner of Texas Title. So if you're ever over there, take a look at all the art and vote for your favorite piece. We have 3 such galleries throughout the city of Frisco. That's one. The other one is Sweetwater's Coffee and Tea Shop over on Preston Road, right across the street from the UNT at Frisco. Currently, we have a show, Mythology, there, but we'll change it up in about a week. And then the third is a couple of doors down from Sweetwater's at the Frisco Dental Studio. Right now, we have the show with the theme Monochrome. But what Paul was mentioning is our big event of the year, our Art Appreciation Awards Dinner, which is this Saturday night, December 9th. There are still tickets available. I just checked on the website that's right here underneath my name. So you can go and get tickets and find out of all the nominees that we've been announcing over the last couple of weeks, who are going to be the ones that run away with the prize. Texas Title is nominated for a community partner of the year, as well as a couple other community partners. Many artists who have been active throughout the year and won different awards at different shows will also be nominated in a variety of categories. We'll have art auction. We'll have live music courtesy of Melody of Hope. It's going to be a great celebration of art. So once again, this Saturday night, starting at 6 o'clock, tickets are still available on vagf.org.
Awesome.
Perfect.
Hey, Brian, since you guys are the go-to place for this type of stuff, I have 2 more. I'm sorry.
Amen, brother. Throw it at us.
Thank you. On January 12th, Friday, January 12th, you have the Dr. Martin Luther King Scholarship and Oration Contest that's put on by Life Changing Faith Church. I think it's the 8th year that we'll be doing that. It's an awesome event. They've given away over $50,000 to FISD students. So that's one you don't want to miss. It's really cool. That same week on Friday, or the week after, I should say, on the 19th, Refresh Frisco, they call it North Texas Refresh.
North Texas Refresh, yeah.
They've spread out their wings. They're having their fundraising gala. Both of those happen to be at Verona Villa, but they're two awesome things to get involved with that I know your audience will be excited about.
I have 2 quick questions. Does anybody know when they're going to light the Christmas tree in Frisco? Or are they already done it?
It's already done.
I'm late. And then is there going to be an ice rink again this year?
Yeah, it's up and going. So
I got to get out of the house, man.
Steve, you needed the show like a week ago.
I know. I got to get out of the house. I've been calling over there in a couple weeks. So
that's actually one of the things that I was going to highlight too. When it came back around to me, so it's officially called Holiday Lights at Frisco Square. Mm-hmm. So part of that is that skating rink that you were talking about and the Christmas tree. So it's synchronized and choreographed, the light show that goes above the street and all the way down to the city hall. Sure. They've got Skate the Square, Visits with Santa. There's a light tunnel, and then there's horse-drawn carriages, which I think is new this year. But all of that stuff is going on, and will continue through the holidays. I think all the way up just past New Year's. Through January 6th. If you want to check that out, go to friscosquare.com. Also, since we are Sports City USA, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention a couple of the big football games that are coming to our Fairburg here in Frisco. That is the Frisco Bowl. It's a Scooters Coffee Frisco Bowl officially. That's on Tuesday, December 19th, 8 p.m. at Toyota Stadium. That's featuring the mighty Marshall Thundering Herd versus the UTSA Roadrunners. That'll be on ESPN. So it's kind of big time, it's the start of the bowl season. So let's go. And then the annual, the FCS championship game, right? So that's the, informally known as the NDSU, the North Dakota State Bison Bowl, because they're pretty much there every single year. They are one of the Final Four teams that is vying for one of the 2 spots in that game. That will be on, January 7th, I believe. Hold on, let me get the info here. Yep, it's January 7th. It's a Sunday. That too is at Toyota Stadium. That is always a fun time. I've been to that game a few times, and that's always a great time. And if you live in the city of Frisco and NDSU does make it again, don't go out to any location that serves alcohol because it will be packed.
They take over.
And they may be dry because those people can represent and they can drink. So if you happen to be in town and NDSU makes it, just don't make any plans to go out to any place that serves beer or alcohol. Also one more thing I did want to mention before we get off of the What's Up Frisco segment. It's pertinent to what we're going to be talking about here in the next segment, and that is downtown Frisco. So the Chamber of Commerce is hosting it's kind of a walkthrough event today at the Chamber of Commerce on Main Street. They are hosting from 2:30, so it started a half hour ago, until 6:30. Basically, plans for the remodel or the new street configuration and the square that is planned for 4th Street in downtown Frisco. So it's going to look quite different, assuming these plans are put into place. So anybody who's interested in seeing what that looks like, there are renderings and various other different displays that are at the Chamber of Commerce this afternoon from 2:30 to 6:30. So go check that out if you're watching live and have the ability to get to downtown Frisco. Thank you, Lennon, for that note in the comments here. We had our kickoff party for this show last night at Kelly's Tavern. So special shout out to Kelly's Tavern. for having us there, and for also hosting a lot of business events. So I've seen tons of networking events going on at Kelly's Craft Tavern over on Preston. Preston and Gaylord, I believe, is the intersection that is closest to. They have several private rooms, and they do a great job. Our waiter last night was freaking fantastic. He was able
The
to
meatloaf sandwich was.
and there you go. You got the meatloaf sandwich, gets an A+. So always great service over there. They're business friendly. So if you do any networking events, they do have 2 special rooms over there. Go check them out. Kelly's Craft Tavern on Preston and Gaylord.
Yeah, Steve hadn't eaten since.
No, I don't think I have. That was big.
No comment on that.
Yeah.
All right. So with that, we'll wrap. Anybody have anything else to add, Jason?
No, I think we're ready to get to the meat of this thing.
All right. So if nobody else has anything more to add for events, we'll wrap up the What's Up Frisco segment. Thanks, guys, for sharing all those events coming up. Always a lot going on in Frisco, so we should never be at a shortage of things to talk about during that segment in the future. So what we're going to do is take another quick commercial break. What we're going to do on the back end of that is talk about basically how to get shit done in Frisco. And with that, I'll leave it at that, and we'll pick it up on the back end.
The Community Difference is a new series of shows powered by the Difference Radio live stream and podcast network. This series of shows was designed to highlight the unsung heroes that call our towns and communities home. And we wanted to create a platform that brings awareness to and reminds folks of the goodness that lives within so many of us. By working with the local community leaders, business owners, first responders, veterans, schools, and citizens, we want to unite with a clear and selfless purpose. The Community Difference seeks to spotlight the people, events, and activities that are producing positive outcomes, inspirational stories, and incredible experiences. In a world that is consumed with negative press, media manipulation, and propaganda, The Difference, along with many others who believe and support The Difference, understands there is no better way to make the difference than to highlight the unsung heroes that call our towns and communities home. We are currently searching for local communities to be the focus of our shows, but before we can launch a show in your community, we need your help. We need you along with local business leaders, chambers of commerces, major nonprofits, online community group leaders, networking groups, etc., to join us in making the difference in helping your community be seen, be heard, and be remembered. So, if you would like to know how you, your business, school, social media community, church, or your favorite nonprofit organization can be a part of this unique and powerful program, reach out to us today and introduce yourself and let us know how you would like to contribute and bring awareness to the amazing people, places, and events that are making the difference in the community you love. You can call us at 972-866-4596 or email us at info@thedifferenceradio.com.
And now, back to the show.
All right, welcome back. And like Paul had referred to earlier in the show, we voiced over a couple weeks now in a row, but specifically today, we both voiced over the fact that we were launching this Community Difference show on a regular basis going forward. And the response that we got was fantastic. So if you're listening and you heard that spot and you're interested in getting involved in the Community Difference and bringing some spotlight to whatever cause and community event and business that you may have in Frisco, please check us out. Certainly listen to the show to continue listening, like us, share us. That's what we're all about, is just putting the spotlight on other things, other businesses, and activities and initiatives going on in the city of Frisco. So with that, on the front end of that commercial, I said, hey, how do we get shit done in Frisco? To put it very, very bluntly, that's going to be our topic for the next segment here. We have some folks as guests who have gotten shit done in the city of Frisco. One of which is the redevelopment of downtown Frisco. And certainly that's an ongoing project, but Donnie, you've been very instrumental in getting stuff done in downtown Frisco. What I want to just kind of throw out there, Jason, you've been instrumental. You guys both have partnered and are partners on the Downtown Frisco Business Association. Swat, I know you've been involved in Leadership Frisco and have gotten stuff done in the city of Frisco. And yeah, Lennon, you've thrown out the mesh adjective there in the past, MESH. make exceptional shit happen is what that acronym stands for. And that's kind of what we like to put a spotlight on things that mesh. So I guess, Donnie, I'll throw it to you first. You've been working a long time, and I remember back to, it was probably 7 or 8 years ago when you and I had a lunch. I think it was at Miko Sina it was technically in Plano, I guess, over at the Shops of Legacy. And we talked about, okay, just some ideas of what a downtown looks like and what makes it vibrant and what makes it an effective center of a town, right? Like what brings people to the center of a downtown. So it was certainly 30,000 foot level discussion. You've gone and taken that dream and run with it a long way. Tell us about that journey and how you were able to execute. This is a deep question, so we don't need to get into all the detail. Tell us how it started, and tell us the journey of how it got to the point where we're at now.
How long is the show?
Yeah, like I said, the Snow's version, I guess.
Yes. So it started when Matt Calloway asked me to take a look at the Double Dip site that was for sale and the car wash site that was for sale. And he started talking about, can't you see this here and that there? And my response was, no, I can't see it. And the reason is the downtown needed a makeover, not just that site, that site specific. So I think my partner at the time and I went out, and within the next 12 months, we bought 13 properties downtown. And one of the reasons we did that was to get the city's attention, that, hey, we're for real. We're here. We want to make some changes down here and improve it. And the one word that I could probably use to describe what it took was persistence. So many people thought we were crazy for even working in the city of Frisco, let alone taking on an undertaking of redeveloping the downtown that was very sleepy. And still not vibrant, still not alive, but we're making progress. And it was a lot of persistence, a lot of pushing through the roadblocks, squeezing through the cracks in the wall to get to the other side. And it really continues to take push and perseverance, not just persistence. But a lot of people would have given up by now, and I've heard that from a lot of developers, like, why are you still doing this? I would have given up a long time ago. But for me, it's perspective. In California, where I was doing real estate development out there, sometimes it would take 10 years to get a project approved. So if it takes 18 months here, that's certainly a different way of doing business than I was used to. So to push through a project in 9 to 12 months and do it right and get community enrollment on it is not easy, as everyone has a different opinion. But when you continue to paint the vision and then you actually perform on your vision, people become believers, and you just do one project at a time at that point, and that's what we've been doing.
Yeah, and you mentioned Double Dip, right? So there was kind of a Frisco icon, and taking it back even further, just so people understand what downtown Frisco looks like. If you don't live here and you're watching the show, there's an old section, and I'm talking early 1900s. I think when the rail line going through Frisco was basically the only thing. And there's a new downtown, which is where Toyota Stadium, the U.S. Soccer Hall of Fame, is located, and that was built up early 2000s to mid 2000s, something like that. And the old downtown remains almost how it was in the early 1900s, with a few exceptions. Now, there's businesses that have taken some of those old buildings and put businesses in them, and they're good restaurants, outdoor locations where you can go and sip wine in the nice weather here in Texas. But they're very two distinct entities right now. And I know part of the vision is trying to connect those, make it walkable, make it, instead of two segmented downtown, kind of make it one. And I know there's a lot of plans in place to kind of bridge that gap. But going back to that double dip comment, and it was a kind of like a drive through diner / ice cream joint that was iconic. It was kind of a, for lack of a better term, kind of a shithole, but it was a lot of people would go there as a treat to their kids to get them some ice cream. So when you guys bought that site and then tore down the double dip, a lot of people were not so happy about it because that was their little iconic place to go in old school downtown. What you put there, patios at the rail, it's a revolutionary type building. On that, the reason it's called patios at the rail, there is a public access patio that is really a hidden gem in the city of Frisco. Not a whole lot of people know about it yet. But on that patio, there's a homage, if you will, a mural that pays homage to the double dip. And it has a few famous people in that mural, yourself included, Donnie, one of the famous people that are in it. But if you haven't seen it, check it out because it's pretty cool. And if you're still sad about the double dip being gone, go to the patios at the rail, check out that mural. You'll feel a little bit better about the double dip. And then, of course, when we get those restaurants open, go there and check those out. Obviously, check out the places that are there already. We can go through the list of those businesses, but they are pioneers in that building, and we love their business. So with that being said, Donnie, did you want to say something? It looked like you wanted to chime in as I was going on my tirade there.
Yes. Always critical to point out, I did not get rid of double dip. When we bought that building, they had already left. They had left downtown and moved over to Main Street in Teal. We bought that building after their lease was up and they'd moved out.
Yeah. So don't, he's just the messenger. Don't kill Donnie.
Donnie, I was going to ask, when you look at, being a developer, when you go to look at, downtown areas that may need some help or may need, some refreshing. I mean, is there a formula you look at that say we need a restaurant here, we need something here, and is there kind of a formula you put together, or I mean, how does that process work, and how does that process work for Frisco?
Yeah, so we always hire a market research company. It's actually a lady named Linda Congleton out of Irvine, California. Linda has been doing these studies since 1981 all over the world. So from for some reason, I always start off with Malaysia. I don't know why, but she's been in Malaysia. She's currently in Singapore doing a study. She's been in Texas, Australia, Florida, California, Hawaii. And without a doubt, no argument you can make, she's top 5 in the entire world of what she does. So she comes in and looks at all the demographics, the population, the sales trends, from liquor sales to food sales to services and product sales, and she'll come down to the penny of what the demand is in an area. To give you an idea, we did this in Salina, and she said there is no demand. Don't do it. She said you're at the time when we looked at this, years ago, we were 7 years too early. Now there's been a pent up demand in Frisco for years, and we're capturing some of that. And then you got to find businesses that are synergistic, that complement each other. I don't want to put, multiple restaurants, all the restaurants in one building. Mm-hmm. Right? Where can I find a coffee shop that goes next to a clothing boutique, such as Tumbleweed Textiles and La Finca, complementing each other? And then next to that's a gym. Above that is co-working space. So you want to be able to also provide the people for the businesses. So we want to bring in residential. We want to bring in office. So there's daytime traffic to actually cater to those businesses that are active and looking for the feet down there. So there's a lot that goes into it. I hear all the time, well, I could be a developer. Anybody could.
Yeah. Yeah. Come on in.
But there is a lot that goes into it if you want to do it right.
Hey, Donnie, real quick question here.
Yeah.
Like, to get all this done, the bottleneck I always saw in that area was just the traffic, the inability to get through there, to park there, to even want to deal with it, right? And I heard maybe a year ago that they were going to redirect something and make something walking. How's that working? Did you have to work with the city to make that happen? Are you working with the city to try and fulfill that? Like, how's that working?
That is an undertaking the city has taken on. So they recently redeveloped Elm Street for that secondary street that you're talking about. And they improved that first because they are about to start this next year the redevelopment of Main Street. So they want to be able to redirect traffic to Elm while they are improving Main Street. But I've always kind of chuckled at the traffic comment about downtown. I and Brian knows this. We used to have to drive from the west side to the east side for baseball games and baseball practices at Bacchus. And I've timed myself so many times doing it. The longest it ever took me to get from the railroad track to Preston was 10 minutes. If you go to Greenville, South Carolina, one of the absolute best dynamic downtowns in the country, it'll take you 25 minutes. And it's one of the best downtowns in America. The other one I hear about all the time that I get nauseating feeling talking about it is parking. I've never been to a downtown that has amazing parking opportunities. Like, oh, there's a vacant spot for me. But I'll even take that a step further. You go over to the Starwood shops, right, and go to True Fire and Koda Sushi or wherever. I drive around looking for parking. You go to Legacy West where they have this state-of-the-art parking garage. The other day we went there, we spent 15 minutes looking for a parking spot. It's kind of something that just comes with downtowns for some reason. I don't know why that is. The parking seems to be an issue wherever we go. But every downtown I've been to that's worth going to, there's always slow traffic. Right? It always takes a little bit of time to get from one end to the next. So I'm glad you actually said that, Steve, because our Main Street has been more of a thoroughfare. It's been how do I get from east to west or west to east? And I think what the city wants to do and what they're doing with their redesign is rather than a thoroughfare, we need it to be our arterial to get people to the downtown that we're trying to create. And that's actually part of what Brian mentioned of the open house that they're doing right now. They're showing the plaza that they're going to be building and then the improvements to the streets as well.
Yeah, and we'll so I'm going to jump in here, guys, because we do need to take a quick break, another commercial break. But I do want to continue this conversation on the back end. We'll talk more about downtown Frisco. Jason and Swat, I want to get you guys involved too, because I know you've started businesses in the city of Frisco, especially with groundbreaking and things like that. I want to hear your guys' story as well. With that, let's hit commercial, and we'll be right back.
The Difference Radio, live stream, and podcast. The voice of small businesses and the communities they serve.
Over the last 24 months, The Difference has evolved into a powerful internet media company that helps small businesses and local communities and nonprofit organizations create, produce, broadcast, and distribute a variety of shows, all designed to empower our communities, the businesses, the people, the places, and the events that make our cities, communities, and the folks that live there so very special.
With almost 1.5 million viewers and listeners in the last 2 years, The Difference and its unique strategy of positive impact branding has helped communities and small businesses be seen, be heard, and be remembered.
In a world that is consumed with negative press, media manipulation, and propaganda, The Difference, along with many others who believe in and support The Difference, understand that there is no better way to make the difference in our communities than to highlight the unsung heroes and high achievers that call our towns and communities home. And we wanted to create a platform that does just that. One that brings awareness to and reminds folks of the goodness that lives within so many of us and our neighbors.
And don't forget to hit that like, follow, and subscribe button and tune in each week so you can experience the difference.
All right, welcome back, everybody. We are talking all things Frisco and how to get shit done in Frisco. With that being the topic, I wanted to ask you guys, since you guys are all business owners in Frisco, coming from various different areas of the country, what drew you to Frisco in particular? Why did you decide to come to Frisco? And Jason, let me throw that one to you.
Well, okay. So I'm gonna answer that, and I'm gonna sort of tag into your getting stuff done in Frisco. Okay, I'm gonna wrap this up a little bit from my perspective. I in a corporate relocation. I worked for Nordstrom for 16 years. I never heard of Frisco. I didn't know anything about Texas. The company offered me a position. It was in the basement of the Dallas Galleria, and I just said yes, and I went. And I had a coworker that lived in Greyhawk, and I went to visit his family, and there was a home being built across El Dorado, and so I bought it. That's as much thought as I put into it, to be honest with you. But over eventually, I became the general manager of the Nordstrom at Stonebriar Center, and I was there for about 6 years. So, in my opinion, I had a front row seat to, this was from 2005 till 2006 to 2014, so I had a front row seat into the growth. I was on the Visit Frisco board, so I had a snapshot of the collaboration in the city and how everybody worked together, and then also the customer who lived in this community, and so that led me to seeing a need for an event venue, and figured out a way. Partnered with the EDC, the Economic Development Corporation, encouraged me to do it here. I was going to build it in Southlake. And at the time, I put the land under contract. The Cowboys announced they were coming 1 month after, literally. And so, then that spurred, if people remember, the $5 billion mile. You had Graham Park, had a huge concept plan that was done. You had Wade Park, you had Frisco Station, the Gate, the Star. All of those things were on the doorstep of my property. I had 3 acres at Stonebrook and the Tollway. And then you had Scottish Rite Hospital coming in, right? So all this stuff. And if you had made a wager in 2015 on who would actually be built and who wouldn't, I probably would have been the last horse that you put your money on. But if you drive over there now, what's there? My venue. Wade Park is a swimming pool. The Gate is gone. The Stonebrook Plaza is bankrupt twice. Frisco Station, still not much. Our friend, the Cowboys, they got their stuff done. Sports does well. And so you talk about getting stuff done, right? And we got it done. And I'm really actually very proud of that. While I was doing that, Donnie was launching his efforts in downtown. We didn't know each other, only through reputation. I would see, and you look in downtown Frisco, who has developed in downtown Frisco, right? NAC development. Donnie gets stuff done. So I was very attracted to that. So I reached out. He blew me off, if we're being honest. But eventually he came around, and about 3 years ago, we became super close friends. And I'm really proud and excited to be associated with him, to have him as a close friend, and for the things that we're doing together that are actually pretty cool, including, I just want to say, at NAC Theater, part of his vision for downtown Frisco was you need places for people to come and gather and to be able to have entertainment, to then go to the restaurants or go to the boutiques and shop. So he partnered with a local youth theater company to build this theater for them, and COVID happened, and so that sort of went the way that it went. And so, but I saw it as an opportunity to pick up what he started and what he created, and so that's where a lot of our partnership sort of stemmed from. And now we've turned it into, people talk about, and SWAD is also someone that gets stuff done with Visual Arts Guild of Frisco. A lot of effort for it to be Art City USA, right? But he's actually grabbed the reins of that and made it happen. It's not just talk with Visual Arts Guild of Frisco. They're in spaces, and I love supporting his hard work and his wife Jennifer. But here at NAC Theater, we've turned it into really an arts incubator, and you'll see more of this coming out But right now we have something called Anytown Actors Lab, acting workshops taking place here. We're about to talk about soon some film and commercial production, like lessons and a classroom stuff for children, 6 to 17. We obviously do the different talent shows, and we do the different acts and comedy. We just had a magic show. There's tons of talent here locally. So there's a lot of people that talk about stuff, but at a certain point, you have to just put your stake in the ground, put your money where your mouth is, and take a chance. And I'm really proud of my friend Donnie for having done that. I'm proud of my friend Swad for having done that, and I think the community is better for it because we're doing it because we love this place.
No, those are great points, Jason. Especially with those, bringing up those major projects, right? Like the swimming pool that we have just on the other side of the tollway from your place. So, the visionaries that you guys are, you can probably figure out a good use for that.
Well, and to be honest with you, those things being where they're at make life a lot harder for people, right? Because people look at that, Donnie is a developer that has set out to build stuff, and they're 100% built, they're 100% leased. Sometimes tenants take longer to do stuff, but the average public doesn't realize that. It's not a reflection of the developer, right? What's a reflection of the developer is when you have a 700-foot hole in the ground, right? And it's not, I don't think it's necessarily like the city's fault or anything. It's the developer fell. But people in their perception, they associate all developers together, or all development as one. And so that becomes a challenge as you go out and people look. So as a community, we do have to figure out how to try to make sure that doesn't happen, because it's a joke. Haha, there's a big swimming pool. We can all joke about it. But to be honest with you, it hurts. It hurts our credibility, and it hurts. I mean, when I built my venue there, I was supposed to have
Whole Foods
dollars of business down the street. Here we are 7 years later, and I don't. And so, that was part of my plan, right? And so it hurts when those other developments fall down. And the reason I say that is you have to have the foresight to work with a developer like NAC Development that executes. You can have an idea, but if you can't execute the idea like they have, so what? So anyway, the fact that you said getting stuff done, and I'm saying stuff because I don't want to get smacked by
you can let me be the swear guy.
My Hope Fellowship on Sunday. He'll punch me. But shout out to Hope Fellowship Church. But there is something to be said about people that get stuff done, and in the arts world, SWAT is getting stuff done.
And that's a good segue, because I want to hear. I mean, I've talked to SWAT about where he's from, but I would love to see how you landed in Frisco.
Hey, real quick, I'm sorry to jump in, because SWAT, I do want to hear that. I know Donnie had just texted me and said he's got to run because he's a busy dude. I just want to say thank you, Donnie, for being on the show. You are free to go, my friend. We appreciate your input, and we may have you on future shows to keep talking about downtown.
Appreciate you all.
Donnie, you take care.
Donnie.
Thanks,
all right,
buddy.
let's all grab coffee soon.
All right. Now with that, SWAT, it's all you, buddy. You tell us how you got to Frisco and tell us about how you got shit done.
Yeah, it's actually really simple. I fell in love. And I got married, and now we live in Frisco. How's that? It's great. I lived in the DFW area for about 26 years, and moved to Frisco about 10 years ago. Plugged into the local community, primarily Frisco Chamber of Commerce. Paul mentioned that he's one of the ambassadors for the Frisco Chamber of Commerce. So am I. I actually sit on the board of directors for the chamber. It's a great place for a business owner to make connections with other business owners. And to me, that's one of the most important parts how to get something done in Frisco. It's partnerships. You can't do a lot on your own. Jason and Donnie just talked about that, how they're working together on some of these projects. And we, as Visual Arts Guild of Frisco, we have some partners that were really key in expanding our programs. We partnered with Play Frisco, the city's Parks and Rec department, and about 2 years ago, a little less than 2 years ago, the city actually hired for the first time ever the cultural affairs director, Michelle Norris, who's been a great advocate and supporter of the arts of all kinds here in Frisco. And we run a lot of these programs in partnerships with Play Frisco. It's a difficult conversation to have with people about promoting the arts, because that always kind of falls down on the list of priorities. Traffic is usually number one, right, or something else. But wouldn't it be great if somewhere between NAC Theater and the patios on the rail we had an art gallery, for example? We're talking about redeveloping the 4th Street Plaza, and a lot of downtown Frisco and the rail district is going to look a lot different in the next couple of years. Probably by the time that World Cup in 2026 rolls around, we would love to be a part of that. One of the programs of Play Frisco to actually bring some art to downtown Frisco is called Artscape. And it was just launched a couple of months ago. So if you drive up and down Main Street between 3rd Street and 5th Street, you will see pole banners. There are 10 of them with 2 images on each one, submitted by local artists. And actually, I have one of them myself. A lot of the Visual Arts Guild of Frisco members are represented on those banners. And so that's just one of the ways that the city is partnering with the local arts community to bring a little bit more of arts somewhere in the area of downtown Frisco. And we hope that it will continue and that we will have more arts content. Just down the street from the rail district is Gallery 8680. They have a lot of art events throughout the year, and a lot of our artists display their artworks there. So if you want to meet a local artist, connect with us on this website that I have right over here, and we'll let you know what's going on in the world of arts.
Great. Well, I will tell you from personal experience, because I've been to some Visual Arts Guild of Frisco, and the fact that you can meet the artists there on some of these outstanding pieces and interesting, photography and still photography. I mean, I would love to have an art gallery in the downtown Frisco area. I mean, it's just, like I said, being able to, talk to, I've gotten to know you, Swad, and Zara. I mean, those are just, interesting you kind of fall in love with the art all over again because you've got a personal connection. And again, that's kind of what makes, economic impacts and business work together when you're actually connected. Now,
well, who was it earlier that said Art City USA? Was that you, Jason?
Yeah, that's an aspiration, right?
I'm not saying that jokingly, because Frisco has the Sports City USA moniker that's been used. That would be awesome to have it known also as Art City USA.
Well, and there's no doubt Frisco's a sports town. I mean, people, which is great. We have just about every major league team here, right? And then there's been some announcements with tennis ATP tournaments, and I mean, you go on down the line. Cricket, we've got it all.
PGA, yeah.
But the thing that people forget, I'm super passionate about the arts, is that the arts touches everyone. Not everyone is fortunate enough to be an athlete, right? And athletes all want to be artists. And so from the clothes we wear to the food we eat to the visual arts, the music we listen to, the devices, everything about it's all art, right? And so any community that wants to thrive has got to prioritize the arts. And I served on the Frisco Arts Foundation as the board chair for a year, and I supported it for about 7 years before that. Now I channel most of my efforts to do it from a private sort of business standpoint, because I feel like we can get more done that way, and then continue to support the nonprofit efforts. which is a little riskier. It's better to do it with other people's money. But unless people embrace it right now, it could slip away, and so we have to support the work that SWAT is doing, like Paul mentioned he does, and other people, because art impacts all of our lives, all of them, from the video games, but
it's almost back to Donnie's when I was asking him about, how do you set up, how do you structure a downtown?
Right.
I mean, every downtown, area that's, even worth their salt, has more than one, art gallery or something.
Yes, but there has to be a mechanism for it to be paid for, right? So where is that coming from? So if we want open, like Hall Park here in Frisco has the largest outdoor sculpture garden in the state of Texas. The artwork there is stunning in that place, and that's an investment, a private investment that the Hall family has made. And so it has to come from city support, and they did increase the arts tourism grant to $280,000 this year, which is great. I mean, in my opinion, it should be over $1 million. I would challenge people that.
Thank you, Jason.
That's right.
People
You're gonna get something
watching.
extra
I'm going to get myself in trouble right here, and in front of this will be good. But if you look at before the pandemic, it was $175,000 is what the grant amount was. That was 2019. If you look at the percentage of the total general fund spending in Frisco, that's less than 0.1%, right? Follow me so far? At that time in 2019, we were investing 0.1% back into this arts community. We do it in other ways, but specifically the arts tourism. We were excited this year because that amount, it went to 100 during COVID. It almost went away, but they figured out a way to, let's not have it go away. Let's make it 100,000. Then coming out of COVID, when things improved, it stayed at 100,000 for a year or two. And then we said, okay, guys, we got to get back in the game with this. It's a top 10 priority, the arts. They want to build a performing arts center, which is fantastic. So they said, okay, we're going to do 280, which everyone was excited for, because 280 is a lot more than.
Can you see SWAT down there smiling? I mean, he's got like.
Okay, but I'm going to take his smile away now, Paul, because if you look in 2023, I'll let you guess, what percentage of the overall spend is $280,000? So we were 0.1% in 2019. In 2023, we're 0.1%, because the budget has grown. So the fact that we are spending 280, which, by the way, I mean, I'll celebrate that. It's $180,000 more, but it's still not a substantial commitment, in my opinion. And so what we need to do, we may not have enough local groups to even use that. We may need to go out and recruit other arts organizations to come to this community. In Plano, they give one organization, they've given them over millions of dollars to one, So, and again, this is a gentle hug to the arts community to say, you know what, be excited about the 280. SWAT's excited. If SWAT's happy, I'm happy. But it's honestly, it's not enough.
Can I ask a question? If it went from 100, which is 0.1%, to 280, which is still 0.1%, what does it say that happened to the budget? Did it really expand that much? And if so,
yeah, look at the growth over the past 4 years.
Right. And it was 0.1% before the pandemic, when it was 175.
It was 175.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now we have a lot of people, and they increased the per capita. So
the net gain is $105,000.
Right.
From 2019 till the 280.
That sounds more reasonable.
And the 280 is a factor. It's $1.25 per citizen. So that will go up as the population grows.
And that is being funded by the visitors tax, the hotel occupancy tax. So it doesn't have a direct impact on the city budget.
which I'm on the Visit Frisco board. And
so we need more hotels.
Well, we got lots.
That's right. And that's why actually when Visual Arts Guild of Frisco creates events, we purposefully create events where we can invite people from outside of Frisco to spend some time. So this year, we had our first ever En Plein Air Frisco Festival, where for 3 days, a couple of dozen local artists, and actually some that are not so local, painted around Frisco parks and other areas. Jason may or may not have purchased some of that art. So because that event is a 3-day event, we were able to convince everybody, all of our partners, that people will be coming to Frisco and staying overnight. So as a part of that event, so that actually brings in some of those dollars to the hotels that end up being granted to some of the arts organizations in town.
And to whoever was mentioning the gallery space, I think it was Paul, right? You mentioned it would be. So usually because a lot of these organizations, they come to my venues looking for donations and stuff like that of space, because most of these organizations, their need is space. So to your point, come downtown, be able to see an art gallery. It costs money to
Sure.
To rent that space or whatever. And most of the organizations that get that $280,000 end up using those funds for space to do whatever it is they do.
It's mainly used for programming.
Yeah, and it has to take place in Frisco. Like that's a rule.
That's right.
But my point is too, as people are brainstorming, and you guys are involved with the chamber and different things, and as they're envisioning the chamber's property downtown, and to be able to build in opportunities to whatever their plans are, to provide walls, to provide opportunities for the public to interact with their offices or whatever in a arts way, might be really beneficial to them, you know what I mean, or to any business that is here downtown. SWAT's done a great job of partnering with some dentist office, and like you mentioned, Sweetwater's, where they. So the more people are thinking about how can we, because it's called an arts tourism grant, because it's generating traffic, it's generating commerce, right? And it's the whole point of it being from the hotel occupancy tax, it's generating heads and beds. So
that's right.
Yeah, and there have been studies done that a dollar invested in art in any city gets returned tenfold in visitors and just the quality of life. It is something that not just the residents demand, but also the visitors.
And I'll blow your mind in this, and then I'll be quiet. But they geofenced the city, and they looked at visitors coming to Frisco. How long do they stay in certain parts of the city? And believe it or not, the place that they stayed the longest in terms of number of days was downtown Frisco.
I believe it. Yeah.
I was shocked to hear that, to be honest with you. But
hey, that's awesome. I mean, that bodes well for the redevelopment going on. So, hey guys, we could talk all day about this, and I'd love to have you guys back on the show, seriously, to dive deeper into all the topics that we've covered today. We are out of time. You guys lucked out, because we normally do a segment in these community shows called Rapid Fire Questions, which gets you thinking on your feet and coming up with some crazy answers. We don't have time for it today, so
I stole the time. My bad.
Yeah, no, hey, this was all good content. This is what we wanted. So that means you got to come back on, and we'll do a rapid fire segment to get your true, passions out on stupid topics like your favorite karaoke song, just for instance. But I did want to say thank you guys for being on. Also, thanks to Donnie, who had to drop off, but appreciate your guys' input on Frisco, how to get stuff done in Frisco. You guys have awesome businesses, and you're awesome advocates for the community. So exactly why we wanted to have you on the show today. So thank you for your time. Real quick to wrap up, Swad, we're going to start with you and go around the horn. It'll be Swad, Jason, Steve, then Paul. Tell us how to get in touch with you. What's the best contact? Go, Swad.
With me personally, Swad Bejtovic, I'm on the World Wide Web at swad.com. But I'm here as a representative of BAGF. So vagf.org, like I said, the website is right over here. You'll have a list of all of our projects. We have multiple events every month. So please connect with us, and we'll let you know what's going on in the arts community.
Jason.
Well, first of all, sign up to be a member of VAGF. How much is it, Swad, to join?
It's $35 a year.
$35 a year. Go bless them with that, please. Jason@veronavilla.com if you need to get a hold of me. I recommend that you follow the Rail District Facebook page, NAC Theater's Facebook page, nactheater.com, all of our upcoming shows, NAC Development. I'll throw that in there for Donnie. You can follow their projects. They have a really exciting new deal in Mansfield, Texas, and some other downtowns around Texas are pursuing them to come to them too. So it's a fun story to follow. But thanks, guys.
Awesome.
Go ahead, Steve.
Yeah, Steve Wood. You can reach me at smartsaferetirement.com, smartsaferetirement.com, or you can call me at my work cell, 469-233-9127. Happy to go over going tax-free. I do it for a lot of people in Frisco, but in this modern world, we're virtual, so literally I'm worldwide. But
awesome, Paul.
All right. So the best way to reach me is either my phone numbers that scroll below, or you go to my website at loansbyfisher.com, and just to kind of spark the home buying. Interest rates are sliding down through the market has decided that enough is enough, and let's get them down. So it's always a great time to buy before everybody else gets the same idea. So always here to help.
Awesome. Well, once again, guys, we are out of time. Appreciate your time today. My information is scrolling on the bottom. I'll be here every week, so I'm not going to go through all my details, but if you need property management help, look me up. Hey, again, thanks, guys, for coming on. We will be back here same time next week, next Thursday, 2:30. We will be talking about a different business topic, but we wanted to go deep into Frisco and how to get shit done in Frisco today. So with that, take care. We'll see you guys next week. Bye all.
See you guys.
Thank you for tuning in and watching our show. If you would like to see our next show, or more shows like this one, just click the QR code and go to show schedules, or just follow and subscribe to our channels to get updates and notifications of this show, and many others like it.